4 pillars of a sustainable side hustle. And when I'm talking about side hustle, I'm talking about something that you're really passionate about, but you're not doing full time. Like I said, you're doing it on the side and you still have that 9 to 5 that pays the bills and keeps you going, and maybe even invest some of that money in your side hustle. So what are the 4 pillars to building a sustainable side hustle so you can take that leap of faith and consequently have a sustainable business? I'm going to speak from experience here. I've had my side hustle for over 4 years before I took the leap of faith, and now I've been full-time on my business for just over 2 years. So I think there's something right going on there. So what are the 4 pillars that I put in place in order for this to happen? Pillar number 1, and it's the one that takes the longest to build for sure, is to have a strong foundation. To have that core group of people who really care about you and you care about them. Not that you should care too much about what people think about what you're doing, but you need to care about them and they need to care about you. And that's the core group of people I'm talking about, who at first might try to talk you out of your side hustle because you are on this successful career path and they don't really get it, what you're trying to do. But over time, they start to understand, and at some point, they're going to become your number 1 fans and your number 1 supporters. And maybe you are starting to have self-doubt about yourself. And those people are going to be the ones who help you move just 1 inch forward. That's all you need to keep going. And that's really important, because when your business is doing well, a lot of people want to associate themselves with you and want to talk about it, and you're being featured all over the place. But when things slow down, that's when businesses are actually built. It gets hard, especially if you're doing it alone, by yourself. You know, it gets really hard, and that's when you need that strong foundation to remind you of what you're doing and how far you've come. Number 2, and this one, is to build a safety net. I know plan A needs to be to work on your vision, and plan B needs to be to work on plan A. I 100% agree with that, although especially if you're coming from a corporate background like I have, and you have that steady paycheck every 2 weeks, it's a punch in the mouth to go from that to owning your business. It's completely different. Having a safety net helps mitigate some of that shock, and it also helps bring those people that are part of your foundation on board with your vision. Like, it mitigates some of their fears of you just throwing away your career to do something completely different. But I think there's no point in doing what you love full time if you can't pay your bills. So that safety net's there for that, and hopefully you don't have to touch that, because you put the systems in place, you build a sustainable side hustle that now it is a sustainable business, and you can draw your paycheck from that business and still have cash flow and all of that. But having that safety net's really nice. Like I said, if you put the right systems in place, you would never need to touch that safety net for the sake of paying bills. Maybe that's going to become fun money, 3-4 years from now. You never know. Pillar number 3, and this one is really, really hard. It's the one that I struggle the most with, and I'm still doing some work on, and that is to have a plan. Again, when you work for a corporation, you go there and you have a boss, and the boss is telling you what to do. It's completely different than waking up and being your own boss. I know that sounds awesome, but it's actually really hard, especially in the beginning. Because when you go there, the corporation has an agenda, and you're part of that agenda. When you wake up on your own, you make your agenda. So it's easy to wake up and do what you feel like doing. Maybe you really have to write a letter to a customer that's really important. You just hate writing letters. It's a sunny day outside and you want to take photos for your business. So you do that, and that letter never gets written, and that was the most important thing to do. If you have a plan and people know about your plan, you're probably going to wake up, suck it up, and write that letter, and then you're going to collect the benefits of doing that. So to stay true to your plan, I recommend you starting or joining a mastermind group with people who are on the same path as you, people like-minded and who understand you right away. And make your goals public, some of your goals public, maybe not all of them, so people really know like what you're striving for. And if you start to like lose focus on your vision, someone is going to remind you, hey, what the hell are you doing? You know, like you said you're going to do this by this date and now you're doing something totally different. I understand that plans change, but when you are in this very important phase of your life of making this transition, it's important to have a direction to go towards, to wake up in the morning and have something that you're like, okay, I want to do something similar to that, and everything you do will contribute to you getting closer to that. So have a plan. Pillar number 4, and this one is the one that ties everything together. Take the leap of faith. That's pillar number 4. It's as simple as that. You know, you worked on your foundation for years. You've built your safety net. You have a strong plan and an awesome mastermind group going. It's time to take the leap of faith. There will never be a right time to take the leap of faith. I know that's so cliche, but it is so true. The stars are never going to align so you can do what you want to do, ever. And life only gets more complicated. Maybe you are in your mid-20s. Do everything you can and take the leap of faith, because when you're in your 30s, it's gonna get harder. When you're in your mid-30s, it's just harder and harder and harder. Life only throws more and more responsibility on your back. So if you've done everything you can and you feel like it's time, do it. Put your 2 weeks notice in and jump right in. It might be hard at first to adjust, but it's totally worth it. And looking back, like Steve Jobs said, the dots will connect, and it'll be one of the best stories that you're going to be able to tell about your life. So guys, that's it. This is the first video of the channel. Most of the videos are going to be along these lines of building a side hustle, but a lot of the videos are going to be tutorials, how-to, advertising, building a website, you know, getting the word out there, marketing, crowdfunding campaign, all this stuff that I've done for the last 6 years. I just want to start sharing because I get a lot of those questions. So I hope you enjoy it. Leave a comment below with the question. You know, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next video.